Hi, my name is Maisch, and today I'll be reviewing methods of graphing and forms of a linear equation. First off, methods of graphing. Possible methods that you can use are create a table of values and plot the points from the table, or get the equation into slope-intercept y equals mx plus b form and begin by plotting y-intercept and use the slope to move using the point slope y minus y1 equals m open parenthesis x minus x1 close parenthesis form of a line. Plot the point x1 y1 and use the slope to move. Using the x and y intercepts, plot each intercept and connect them with a line. Number 1. F of x equals 2x minus 1. The m is 2 because that's where the 2x is, right there. And then the b is negative 1 because it's minus 1. You would begin by graphing this by starting at negative 1 because that's your b. Then you would go up 2, right 1. It's like 2 being in 2 over 1. So you go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, till you get to the top. Then once you get to the top, you go back to negative 1, and then do down 2, left 1, till you get there. Next problem. Y plus 3x equals 5. You would have to subtract 3x from y because to get into y equals mx plus b form. Then you would get y equals negative 3x plus 5. Your m is negative 3 because negative 3 is the x, and b equals 5 because plus 5. You would begin at 5. Then you would go down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1, till you get to the bottom. Now I will be going over forms of a linear equation. Number 1. Given the equation 2x plus y equals 3. First, you would have to solve for y. So you would subtract 2x from y. Then you would get y equals negative 2x plus 3. Then you would put that in your calculator. So we'll go to y equals, and you would put negative 2x plus 3. Then you would click second graph, and you would get the table. And to find if the point 2, negative 1 satisfies the equation, you would look for 2, negative 1 on the graph, on the table. Since the point 2, negative 1 is on the table, it satisfies the equation. Number 2. Given the point k, negative 2 is on the line y equals 3x plus 7, find the value of k. For this one, you would put 3x plus 7 in the calculator. Now you would look for where the y value is negative 2. The y value is negative 2 when the x is negative 3. So k equals negative 3. Finally, number 3. The graph of a linear equation contains the points 3, 11, and negative 2, 1. Which point also lies on the graph? First, I did 3 minus negative 2 and got 5. Then I did 11 minus 1 and got 10. Then I did 10 divided by 5 and got 2, which means that it goes down by 2 each time. And 3, 11 minus 2 is minus 2 in the y is 2, 9.
Jonathan Green, and today I'm going over slope-intercept form of a line, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope rate and b is the y-intercept. For example, here is m, which is the slope rate, so 2, or m equals 2, which is the slope, and b, which is 5, is the y-intercept. So b equals 5. Now we're doing the slope rate of change, which the formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And for example, let's do this equation. So the first thing that you need to do is find the change in y and the change in x. And the change in y is positive 1, so positive 1, and then in x it is positive 2, so you put the rate of y over the rate of x, so 1 1 over 2, and it's m equals y rate of change over x rate of change. That's your answer. And that's it.
Hello, my name is Angela Knott, and I will be reviewing some topics from Unit 2. The two topics I will be reviewing will be how to find the y-intercept and the standard form of a line. First, let's start with how to find the y-intercept. Now, on a graph, the y-intercept is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. For example, on this graph, the y-intercept is 2. And the reason why the y-intercept is 2 is because this line here is the line of y, and this line here is the line of x. And this red line crosses the line of y at 2, which would make 2 the y-intercept. Now let's move on to tables. In a table, the y-intercept is when x equals 0. So, on this table, how I would find the y-intercept is I would go to the x side of the table and I would find 0. So there's -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So I found my 0. So I would go onto the y side and see that next to 0 is 6, which would make the y-intercept 6. Now let's move on to the second topic, standard form of a line. When you're trying to find the standard form of a line, you would use this equation to find it. You would use ax plus by equals c. Now, if you wanted to find the x-intercept in an equation, you would plug in 0 for y. And if you wanted to find the y-intercept in the equation, you would plug in 0 for x. For example, what is the x-intercept of the line whose equation is 2x plus 3y equals 10? Now, it asks what is the x-intercept. So you would go down and find the y, and you would change it to 0. So the new equation would look something like this. 2x plus 3, 0 equals 10. Now, 3 times 0 is 0, so you just cross that